Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today I have another SMP World video. So this is all based on our Sugarcane farm today. So this is not the exact one we have in survival. I changed it a little bit before I built it, but it has the same exact concept. So the sugarcane here is going to grow up to 2 or 3, and these type of minecarts are going to fly over and break it and pick it up. I can kind of show that here. That, and it just gets put in the Minecraft. Okay, but yeah, you can see some of my tests is kind of messed up, but it's just kind of to show what it is. So at the back here we have these return stations, so all the flying machines go and then get returned by these things. You could make them obviously more compact. I was just really bored, wanted to make it look somewhat kind of cool. But the cool thing about this whole system is a couple things. Number one is it puts it into shock boxes. So we have actually 4 shock box loaders as opposed to 2 in survival. So you can see how the sugar cane is going to end up in here. And then when it's completely full, it'll get broken. Yep. And then we have another one over here. The tick rate is set to like 0, so nothing's going to happen. And it looks like one of them even broke as I'm doing this. None of them have broken on the real server. Oh, this is because it's completely off. Okay. Oh, right, that was the one I was testing on. But then from there, all the sugarcane is going to be put in chocolate boxes and then launched through water streams. In survival, we have it as hopper lines because water streams are overrated. And all the chocolate boxes full of sugarcane are going to end up in this chest and start piling up. It's about I AFK'd last night with a bot, and we got about a double chest and a half full of chocolate boxes of sugarcane, which is pretty good. So the next part is over here. So we have the Autocaption Table on our table, or on our server. So if you don't know what that is, you can basically take a crafting table and any item you want. So I'll lock it right there, but put in. So there's nothing in the crafting table right now, but if I unlock it, the item can go in there, and it takes some finagling to get it right. So let's see if I have an earlier design. So this is the rocket crafter we had a couple weeks ago that I built on the server, and I'm now realizing how bad it is. What you'd do is you'd come up here, you would put in chocolate boxes of gunpowder and chocolate boxes of sugarcane. It would all come down here, get evenly distributed into these 2 chests, and then pile into the crafting table and get sucked out immediately. And then the rockets will go here, and the empty chocolate boxes will go here. I like the interface, but it's a little complicated and uses way too much redstone opposed to just better chocolate box unloaders. So, yeah, and then really bad chocolate boxes loaders. So, yeah. But obviously, this is a rocket crafter, so obviously you need paper to craft rockets, and no one's going to sit around and build or craft 3 million paper into or sugarcane into paper. So that's what this thing is. It is actually currently running apparently. So what happens here is you put in chocolate boxes of sugarcane from that direct farm, and they'll evenly randomly get distributed to these 3 chocolate box unloaders. And when they do, they'll end up here. They'll start sucking all the sugarcane out and putting it directly into a crafting table. Can't see it in spectator mode, but sit there. Paper gets stuck in it really fast. We just have a little system here that locks the hopper minecart so that it'll only take stuff out when it's full. So when this reaches threshold of 3, I believe, 2 or 3, I don't remember, then it will unlock it, and then it just gets put into another chocolate box splitter. And the cool thing about this is that it actually reuses the chocolate boxes. So once the chocolate boxes are done here, this hopper will get locked and they'll get pushed into this hopper, and that will push them in this barrel and then down and then back into the dispenser here, so we can actually see all the chocolate boxes that we put in get reused. So you technically only have to put like 2 chocolate boxes in each one for your first time, and then whatever you put in is going to get recycled. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I was going to say I could show the distribution working, but I mean, you can see it's running now perfectly fine. Yeah. So for the rocket crafter, or here's the paper crafter actually in the whole thing. So you have sugarcane input and paper output, and it's the same system. This one's obviously off right now, and this one is pretty much the exact same thing we have on the survival server. So next I wanted rocket crafters, because you're gonna have sugarcane and paper, you might want to craft rockets. So that's what this thing kind of is. So this is one module of the one that we built on the creative server, or survival server, sorry. So here you would put in shulker boxes of gunpowder, and here you would put in shulker boxes of paper, and they would then all get put in. Oh, sorry. They would all get put into shulker box unloaders. Then they would get put into these chests here, and this is my favorite part actually. So it actually has an automatic start and stop. So as you can see now, it's full because, well, it didn't work great because there's no shulker box down there because I forgot. Ignore that. But we have to, if you start it, if you have a craft table here, right? And once this reaches one threshold, one tick later, it's going to lock the hoppers, and that's enough time for both of the items to go in. So if there's something in here, it's going to lock it, and then the second that there's not something in there, it's going to unlock the hoppers, let 2 more items flow in there, and then lock them again. And so that means that we can just suck out at hopper speed, which is really nice. But obviously, if you were to have an uneven amount of numbers, say you had, or items, let's say you had 54 gunpowder and like 2 paper, once that paper runs out, it's just going to continue to run gunpowder through the system, and you're just going to get gunpowder out in here and in the shulker box. So that's obviously not great. So to prevent that, we have to take an output from the chest and create this type of system here, which will only turn on this redstone test if they're both filled. So if this one's filled up with items, which it is, and this one's filled up with items, which it is, they're both going to give an output. But let's say something happened where all this stuff was taken out. Oh, I just got pushed out for some reason. All that got pushed out, and so there's nothing else in this chest anymore. So this redstone dust will turn on, locking the hoppers, or turning on this dust that will lock these 2 hoppers, and that makes it so that nothing at all can flow in here. So this thing is fail-proof. Also, we have a shulker box output here for shulker boxes that you put in, and obviously shulker box loader, and this thing is very reliable. So what I did was I decided that we could go a little bit bigger scale than just 2, and I built up a 4 system. It's 4 by toggle, which is pretty nice. But yeah, here, let me do this. So what happens here is we have sugarcane and gunpowder input in one of these chests. So you put sugarcane, boxes of sugarcane in here, or paper, and then boxes of gunpowder in here. They will get evenly distributed throughout these 4 hoppers and get put into, that'll be paper, 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 and then that'll be gunpowder, 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 gunpowder. So they're all evenly distributed, and then we just have the same shulker box unloaders and the same exact crafting system. And yeah, I can maybe show this working depending on how full the thing is. It seems to be, yes, see, so this is the failsafe working. You see there's sometimes not enough items. Okay, I think I can run it, so we have to get a shulker box. I'm just going to fill the gray one with gunpowder because yes. You can also put in partially filled shulker boxes if you wanted to. That's one of the cool things about the system, but you don't have to. So what we would do, come here, going to place in 8, and then 8 here, And we should see, yeah, most of them start working. Don't know why these aren't getting any. Did I do something wrong? Probably. Where did those go? What? Oh my god, I put them in the same chest. That was dumb. Okay, yeah, but see, that's good. That means 2 in each, so that says almost perfect. So let's try that again. Should see, yep, all those start to kick in action, so they should each have 2 now. Let's check. This one has 2, so it's good. And now we can come back here, see all the rocket crafters working. And I can show how this is 100% hover speed. Continuous. So there's the problem with the system, is that if you put in a funky way, like I just did there, it could create some gunpowder and paper in there, but it's not. It's negligible. You can't really get rid of it. And it works fine. Yeah. So I guess I should probably show this off on the survival server. Here's the survival server. Okay, so yeah, here we are. It's a little bit different, as you can see, the chest layout for the rocket crafter is right here, opposed to right here. And here we have the sugarcane input, the paper output. Right here you can see I already crafted a little bit of paper. And we have the rocket output. So here I can go in spectator mode and show this. We also have the whole sugarcane built up. The ceiling does need to be done, but I'm not too worried about it right now. I was kind of just focusing on these autocrafters. So here we have the rocket crafter. It's all right here. Just use the Matica to put it in here. And the 4-stage paper crafter. And then there's just 2 item elevators to get them to the correct chests. And I've already explained how all these work, so I'm not going to go over it again. There's also some logistic here to turn the farm on a clock here that has essentially 10 stacks. Every time it goes from one to the other, it'll activate this, the T flip-flop. So that's nice. We also have an option for just a button. So you just press a button and you'll get an output. We have these glowstone with chains on top of them, so it's going to be a little bit more challenging to build a ceiling. You see I already did over here, and it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with how this is turning out so far. I'm hoping to finish the ceiling today. I have a shorter day at school today, so I'm just doing out in between classes, during classes, whatever. Another thing I forgot to mention, when the flying machines come back, we have to align the hoppers minecarts again with these glass. And actually here I want to show the old design versus the new one. So here we have this setup, and you may already notice that it's not going to work at all. So this piston right here is in front of this hopper minecart, which means this hopper minecart is going to pick up exactly 0 items. So we have to shift the whole flying machine 1 block over, and you can imagine my anger when I did all 8 of these flying machines like that, and then realized that, oh wait, I have to go back and fix all of them. Also, all these return stations had to be moved, and the first time I launched it, yeah, the return stations didn't work, so they were all off by like 1 block, so it just sat here. Actually, exactly like this one. Because this is an adjusted one that I was testing with, you can see, because there's nothing in front of the hopper minecarts. But yeah, you see how it was off put, and this was all like it in survival, so I just had to I had to take all this down, move it over 1, and then activate this piston, push that, and it all went back, and it was all fine. And I can show that here now. So here we have the modified ones. See, they all work fine. And I believe, I don't know, one of these stations didn't work, so we could probably get a ton more paper out of this if we tried. Yeah, see, this one's still filling up. Still backed up pretty bad. So I'm still going to run it because, shut up. Yeah. Here we go. Should see one launches, then the other one launches, and they're all going to break the sugarcane and pick up the items. It's almost lossless. You'll see an item on the ground once in a while, but it's pretty rare. The only reason you would is over here where these hopper minecarts are all full and they're not picking up any items. But yeah, if you let this sit for long enough, it'll work fine. Yeah, but you see ton of items, obviously. But here you can see there's none because all these are working. This one just got broken because there was no shulker box in the footer I put one there though. So this is all in correctly. Yeah, and we use a hopper mine here to transport them because I feel like it would be a little bit less laggy than water stream. Maybe not, but it was easier at the time. And then we just have a little storage here with kind of a buffer. And yeah, we got all the shulker boxes here. And what we would do with these is we would take them. Let's take 8, maybe. And we can put them into this paper crafter. And we can see some of the modules kick in action. You have to put them in one at a time. Why did I just do that? You have to put them in a specific order to get them all in, but it works perfectly fine for now. You could have it so that you just fill up 2 chests, but I feel like 1 chest is easier just because over time, for like I believe an hour, it should take to do those 4 boxes or 8 boxes. But yeah, so it all works. See, no flying machine got stuck. All the hopper minecarts are here, perfectly aligned. They're all pixel aligned. If you nudged one of these, it would break the system and you couldn't use it anymore, and they would all fall out, and it would be very bad. But yeah, it's fine for now. None of them are being nudged. That was one of the biggest things when building it, is that, well, yeah, they kept getting nudged. This is in our farming district as well, so we have a very small sugarcane farm here. I don't know what this was or who in the hell built it because it's awful. But it like works on detecting these growing, but you can't detect them growing from the bottom, so it doesn't work. I don't know who even built this. And yeah, it was just really temporary. Get like 25 sugarcane, and they all came out as crappy storage. There's a bamboo farm here. Pretty self-explanatory. Some of these things broke. There's no more droppers for some reason. And then we have the melon pumpkin farm, which I have to fix. I think I'm gonna fix the storage today. But this thing uses pretty much the same concept as the other farm, except wow, they are all broken. Oh wait, no, I'm just not rendering them. There's hopper minecarts in between the rails, and they just sit on top of hoppers. Put in dispensers. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, then. And then get put out into composters for real new. So that's not what today's about. It's about the sugarcane farm. So yeah, it took forever to get these water lines in. I used ice actually for most of it, and we're still not done with this. It's about probably 90% done. We have to still. We're going to make it look a little bit prettier by using stairs here in the water. So we're going to use stairs on the edge here and then slabs in the middle here, just because obviously it's going to look way better than opposed to not doing it, where we have end stone on some of these, I believe. Yeah, so this is pretty ugly. But once we use slabs in here, we can basically just walk across and it would be perfect. I love the way the ceiling looks too, so it's more industrial and it looks pretty cool. And yeah. So thanks for watching. If you want a litmatic, I might link one in the description. I don't know if it's necessary because this is kind of a larger build, and I don't really want to paste or give you a whole schematic for this whole building. If you want to do this, basically you just put the minecarts on a block above, you break the rails, and then you let them drop down onto the slabs, and then you have to push honey blocks in. They have to be honey blocks or else it won't work. Use slime. But yeah. Okay, that's it for today. I think you can understand how the rocket crafters and stuff work. You can basically hook up any shulker loader that separates the shulker from the item in here. And the shulker loader can be any loader you want. I just use this one because it's the best for lag, I guess. But yeah, okay, thanks for watching. Have a good day.